And what is spirit for the most part? That which cannot be seen. Right? So sometimes Guru Maharaj would joke and say, we are devotees of the invisible, right? Of that which you cannot see. What is beyond the grasp of ordinary people to see is clear to Brahmins. They can see it very easily. Just, there are many examples of that. What writers see, other people don't see. My photography teacher, she used to tell me about putting on your photographic eyes. Right? Your camera at your side, but you go into your photographic mode. Sometimes she'd start the class, she'd look out the window and go, well, it looks like an F8 type of day. She'd start calling out apertures because she put on her photographic eyes. Right? When, in the Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna wants to reveal something extraordinarily spiritual to Arjuna, he's saying, you cannot see this with your present eyes. So, Dibya Chakshu, I'm going to give you divine eyes so that you can see this. Have a glimpse of infinite perspective. Sticking with the photography example, there's short depth of field, and then there's a depth of field called infinity. Right? And the short, what's before you is in focus, everything else is blurred, and infinite depth of field, everything is in focus. So there's a perspective, infinite perspective, that's sought out by spiritually progressive people. A Brahmin who's meditating, lost in meditation, meaning he's not very conscious of the external world. He's deeply conscious of the internal world. And the noteworthy point is, it's on account of deep absorption in the internal world that he's not outer directed. It's not that by self-abnegation, by renouncing the objective world, that he's gone deep internally. That's the conventional stereotype, but that's not what is being underscored in the Bhagavatam or such literature, but rather they're saying, on account of deep internal absorption, the result is the objective world becomes secondary and adjusted. Like in Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna is saying, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasovarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Arjuna, they're having a discussion at this point about sense control. And he's saying, what's the point of controlling your senses if your mind is still obsessing over sense objects? It's actually a very interesting section. And in Prabhupada's purport to that, he says, it's better to be a sincere street sweeper than a charlatan meditator. Right? So he's saying, if the senses are controlled, but internally you're dwelling on them, it's like, what do we say? Intent is 9/10 of the law. We were speaking about this the other day. What qualifies something as karma is the mind is the seat of karma. It's not as much the action, but the internal motive. Just like in a criminal trial, when they have to, it's clear, both sides agree, let's say, both sides agree to what happened. The defense and the, what's the other side? The prosecuting attorney. They both agree to what happened. But what's going to determine culpability was motive. What was the person thinking at that time? That's going to make all the difference. Right? So in the Gita, Krishna says, just trying to renounce the objective world will prove futile in really subduing the senses or being misled by the senses. He's saying, but rather, rasovarjam rasopyasya param drishtva. we're back to the word rishi is encoded there. Param društva, superior experience. In the presence of a superior experience, automatically inferior experience retreats. That's the way. That's the best. A higher taste, lower taste vanishes. Društva, rishi, drishi, those who are seeing, experiencing the truth, they're not outer directed. So sometimes people will think, well, these ancient civilizations and culture were so advanced, how come they appear to be technologically primitive? Well, one way of looking at it is they were so inner directed that they only put the minimum effort in outer things. The old saying, simple living, high thinking. They didn't want to complicate unnecessarily their outer lives, is one way of looking at it.